Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Legend of the Last Airbender.
Still catching up there.
Yes, sir. I am Tracy.
And I'm Johnny.
And we are the Black Lotus Society.
I didn't know what key I was
it's all
on
good.
for a second.
It's all good. We also represent Water Tribe all day. I just fix out. I don't know, man. I don't like it because there's too much background of the episode that I ripped it from, so I'll figure something out.
It's all right.
All right, so where are we at, man? I'm going to be honest. We are at filler territory because these filler episodes are balls.
Yeah. I seen it on the Facebook group. They were talking about how this is their least favorite episode of the whole show.
I think that's strong. I'm trying to think, like, what episodes are worse?
There's a lot of good episodes. That's the thing. There's only a few, like, terrible episodes.
I feel like the Tales of Ba Sing Se are some of my favorites, but they're also some of my worst. Because what Aang's doing, who cares? I could care less. They kind of like the Katara and Toph Girls Day Out, I could care less. But that fucking Momo shit, man. Oh,
that was...
Oh, God, it's so heartbreaking. But it's like, how do you... It's Tom and Jerry shit. You're giving me so much emotion with no words. That's fucking insane. And I thought it was incredibly dope to be able to pull that shit off.
Yeah.
Just in general, man. But this...
You really felt for Appa.
This episode... My notes aren't even good because I was kind of like scrolling while I was watching. I was on fucking Facebook and shit watching this episode. This episode sucks, man.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, there's a lesson here, but it ultimately doesn't mean anything. Yeah, it doesn't amount to anything. Because even, the episode starts with Katara and Sokka arguing about how to do the tent. She's like, oh, are you going to put the tarp up? And he was like, no,
it's not gonna rain.
And she's like, but it might. He was like, it's the dry season. What the fuck? Like, you just got to trust me on this one.
And then he felt insulted and decided to jab back at her. He's like, that firewood looks pretty. He said, pretty sorry.
Yeah, she brought sticks. She didn't even bring wood. It's like, and the thing about it though is Katara always kind of like has this air of, oh, I'm right and you're wrong about her.
Yeah.
That it just feels like you're criticizing this man. You don't even know why this tarp needs to be up. He basically is like, hey, it's not going to rain. And they make pretty good blankets. I feel like those are two good all right, cool. I didn't know that. That's interesting. You know what I mean?
I think she was more mad that he wasn't listening to her.
Exactly.
Yeah. She's that type.
Yeah, so they're squabbling. That's like literally the whole thing. And then
Aang comes up. Whoa, chill, man.
He is. He comes in super hippie about it. Yo, hey, everybody fucking relax, man. What's going on, man? What's happening, man? Oh, man. And he was like, I don't know. Why don't you ask her, Miss Twigs? He was like, she threw a stick. She's violent. All the time. And I would love to say just how, like, TV shows and cartoons portray violence against men from women. That is kind of like a, who cares?
You know what's crazy?
That shit's fucking
I
crazy.
identify a lot with it.
Yeah, you do.
I identify.
You're a violent little sister.
Somebody don't hear like, what if it does rain? What if it does though? And then now you got us all soaked in the rain.
If it does, then it does. Whatever. So yeah, Aang is basically like, hey, why don't you guys just do each other's jobs? He was like, all right, well, yeah, that sounds good. He's like, look at me. Avatar, doing Avatar stuff. Like, he's really patting himself on the back now. And I'm like, bro, you haven't been doing shit. What
I know,
are you
right?
talking about?
He didn't even have anything to do.
You were so confused when you were asked to hunt down the little spirit. You're like, hey, spirits, it's your boy, Aang. Like, you fuck out of here. Like, you had this shit under wraps.
He really came out there half-hearted.
He acted like he had this thing, like it was sewn up. Like, he was like, yeah, I got this. I'm fucking Avatar. Look at me doing Avatar things. Fuck you.
Oh, and when he sees Momo and Appa pulling at that
watermelon,
it was
like, hey, that's fair. He has had 5 stomachs. And Momo's like,
you bitch.
I swear to God, it's because you've known him longer. I know what this is. I know what this is.
All right, good excuse, Aang.
It's this episode, man.
Yeah, and so here we are. We turn up. They're traveling. They head to the canyon, which is called the Great Divide.
There it is.
That's the name of the episode. Did we not announce that at the beginning?
He did the thing. I didn't.
This
episode is the Great
11?
Divide. I didn't put the chapter.
Wow.
I never put the chapter. I just put the thing. I know where I'm at mostly.
I
think Jet was 10, so this is chapter 11.
Yeah, the Great Divide. There we go.
It's a terrible fucking episode.
Yeah, it's not really worth watching.
This is like those episodes. Like, anime has some of the worst like filler episodes. All animes. There's no anime that I think that has good filler episodes, except for maybe I kind of like Soul Eater's filler episodes because they mean something.
Yeah.
But this is just like when Naruto finishes that first the first big guy that they have to beat, and then there's like 7 episodes about them just hanging around town and shit. I'm like, I do not care.
Yeah.
I do not fucking care.
They're not really.
You need to get to the next point
soon. To the actual story.
I would like it better if they did a like 1 month later thing and then we're already to the next shit. Because I don't need these. I don't need to see fucking Sakura and Ino fucking shopping. Yeah. I don't need to see it.
But I don't want to see it. It's fun to look at.
For who though? I cannot think of any person who's like, you know what would be real cool?
I don't know.
If I get to see these fuckers shop. Oh my god, so cool.
I think people actually like those filler episodes though.
Man, those filler episodes suck.
Yeah.
And this is a filler episode if I've ever seen one. Like this does, like we were talking about it earlier, it just felt like they were like, oh shit, we have to have how many episodes? Like we literally only have like
but it's 10 episodes. It's not even funny. And I feel like there's like so many jabs. So like,
they're trying,
it's supposed to be funny.
Yeah, it was. And then nothing is funny in this episode. It's kind of because he's like, all the jokes are just like, well, you stink. Well, you're uptight. And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
The fuck? Like, these aren't jokes?
The ending especially, it's like, oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
You punched me in the gut with that one.
So they get to the Great Divide, and they're still kind of like, it just shows how different Sokka and Katara, I'm trying to say Sakura, Sokka and Katara are, because she's like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. I could look at it all day. He was like, eh. And she was like, how could you not see the like, why are you picking a fight for this? This is the hill you want to die on, Katara? Him not enjoying the goddamn Great Divide.
Once again, I identify.
You're fucking crazy.
I am Katara and you are Sokka.
Oh.
I mean, come on, look at this. It's beautiful. Look at this.
It's all right. It's cool, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. But then it's because it's like, okay, and then we meet this other dude whose name I didn't get, but I've been calling him Robin because that's the voice of Robin from Teen Titans.
Okay.
So I have been calling him Robin.
I was thinking that. I was just like, that sounds like him.
No, it's definitely Robin. He does a lot of voices. Like, when you have a voice like that, you're going to be in a lot of shit.
Really interesting, huh?
Yeah. So I was like, Robin comes, and he was like, yo, you're not cutting in front of us. They're like, oh, we're not trying to cut in front. We were just chilling here. Also, you weren't even here, so how are we cutting in front of you, you stupid? Like, what are you talking about? But they were just like, no, you're cool, buddy. Chill. Everybody relax. He's like, yo, you wouldn't be so calm if the Fire Nation destroyed your entire village. And I'm just looking like,
what
let me see. 1, 2, oh yeah, 3 people victims of the Fire Nation. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And they didn't even have to mention it. They were just like, all right, that's cool. This guy. Relax. Calm your tits, buddy.
That's set up for him being from a tribe that's self-centered.
Yeah, they're like prissy and preen, and they're up to, and this is like a common trope where it's like anytime you see things where it's like 2 warring tribes in the same place, like one's always like proper and all that other stuff. It's Romeo and Juliet bullshit. Like, oh, our families are nobles and your families are vagabonds. It's like, hey, yes,
watch your mouth.
But it's like the differences couldn't be anything else. Anything else.
This is what the first thought that came to mind. There's just like, yep, go with that. It seemed
right,
like that,
clean, dirty,
the
clean,
whole episode,
dirty.
It seemed like that. Yep, do that.
Right. He just even like the way they're dressed and all that other stuff, because he's talking about the other tribe comes. I got their names, and one is the Ganjin and the other is the Zhangs.
Yeah.
The Zhangs are the dirty motherfuckers, and the Ganjins are the clean motherfuckers.
Clean,
they look like the emperor from fucking Mulan and shit.
Yeah.
And then the other dudes just look like barbarians. And it's just like, it's so stupid because they're like, hey, we got here first. It was like, well, obviously, but what are you talking about?
And they've been feuding for 100 years.
Because immediately I was like, why can't they just go down together? And they're just like, that guy was like, I would rather fucking die. Like, dude, He was like, "Are you kidding me?
Are
You kidding me?"
Seriously, something that like that's what you call a crazy ass grudge,
bro.
A whole tribe's been holding it for like 100 years.
It was like, "Aang, why don't you do something?" He was like, "Yeah, why don't we all go down together?" The way that guy responded, he said, "What? I would rather face down the Fire Nation than go." I was like, "Dude, then you do that. You stay right here." Because if I was them, the Zhang, I'd have been like, "That's cool. You stay here. Face down the Fire Nation. We'll go."
Exactly,
dumbass. Right? Like, chill, buddy.
I feel like that's fine. We're going.
Yo, I've never seen somebody so gung ho about death row over something like just. Yo, you guys are standing right across from each other right now, arguing. You can just do that the whole way through. It's not that big a deal.
The whole episode is them just calling each other out, and
it's so stupid because so he was like, "Well, we've got sick people. Well, we've got elderly." He was like, "Well, maybe if you guys weren't so dirty, you wouldn't have so many sick people. Well, if maybe you guys weren't so clean, you wouldn't live to be so old." And I was like, "How is that an insult?"
And I was thinking that too. Actually, I was just like, "That's."
I was like, "You thought you burned them, but it was like,
like you got a short lifespan compared to them." That's
oh my god, it's nothing. It doesn't matter. Like, this is why these tropes are so stupid. Because what can you insult the clean people? Like, you're just like, "Oh, you're just too clean." It's like, huh?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Where's the insult?
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
It's just so dumb, man. It's dumb.
And the guy comes up.
Yeah, he's the earthbender, and he has to clear the way. And he basically tells, like, well, Aang is like, "All right, here's what's going to happen. We're going to go down together. Everyone shut the fuck up. We're going to sit the elderly and the sick. Appa's going to fly them over. End of discussion. Everybody cool?" "Oh, yeah, okay, I guess that works." Yeah. Of course it works. Suddenly. It's a fucking good idea. Like, it's not a...
But suddenly, like, they're cool with it.
Yeah, and then it's like, and there's only one rule. Don't bring food because the creatures are attracted to it and they'll fuck us up.
Now. And they're all eating and stuff.
It's
one rule.
One rule. So they're going down and they get attacked by creatures. Yeah, and somebody was like, "Oh man, who brought food?" And they're both blaming each other and all that other stuff. Of course they are. And this episode just has no interest. Like, even talking about it, it's just like everything is just so blatant. Like, oh yeah, they get attacked. Obviously, we know that we don't even have to go to the next parts to know that they both brought food. We know that. Like, we know that from the gate. It's so fucking stupid. We knew that was gonna happen. They bring the food, and basically, so they have to split up, and they're like, "We're not going with them." Well, we're not going with them. I was like, "All right, fucking." Aang's just like, "You guys go on your separate paths, and everything will be fine. Make your camps and shut the fuck up."
Oh wait, one thing I like how he stands like in the beginning of the episode, like with his leg up,
his glass,
on the cliff with his glass.
Thinks he's so cool.
I don't know. I like that. I like how they included that.
He's not cool at all.
His comfortable state.
He's not cool.
It's not like
he's not cool.
Whatever.
He's not cool. He's not cool. I want to laugh.
Want me to call Jelly School?
You go to Jelly School. But
they go their separate ways. Aang tells Katara go with James?
She goes with the Ganjin.
And Sokka goes with the James.
Yeah.
Which is the barbarian crew.
Yeah.
And
so then they go and then they're telling their story. They each tell the story of why they hate each other. Because apparently that was Aang's task. He was like, "Hey, go with them and find out why they hate each other so much." And Katara notices them putting the tarp up on the tent. And she's like, "You guys put your tarps up on the tent?" And he was like, "Well, yeah." He was like, "Well, is it going to rain?" He was like, "Probably not. But what if it did?" And she's just like, "Right? That's what I'm always saying. I like you guys." Like,
I would have been a Ganjin.
It's so fucking stupid because you were just like, so then his story is they have to go. He was carrying this sacred orb there, whatever this guy's name is. I don't remember. He was carrying this sacred orb from one place to another. And then he was attacked by this other guy, the Zhang, and he took it and
he got arrested. They arrested him.
Yeah. And that was it. It was like, "See, you never trust the Zhang." I was like, that's a dumb story. That is one person.
And that happened 100 years ago. Yeah, like, you're really going to hold that grudge?
This is the stupidest thing ever. On the other end of the camp, We have Sokka, and he doesn't even care. He's just like, oh crap. Oh, we did leave out that they were like, we brought food. He was like, oh, you guys did it. Katara here is such a fucking follower because
I guess if everybody else is doing it,
oh my god, yeah,
it's okay for me to do it.
I was like, that's not how that works.
I mean, if everybody else around you got food and you're freaking hungry as
well,
hell.
no. She was like, well, we figured they would bring food, so of course we brought food.
But the way she said it, she was like,
well,
sound like a follower.
Okay. I mean, if everyone else is doing it, I guess it's okay. I was like, no, that's how you justify murder. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it.
And then we go cut over to the Zhangs with Sokka.
They got meat though, man. Oh yeah, I'm hanging with these motherfuckers too.
I know, right?
They got meat. If you go smuggle in, just go big. I'm with it.
All they had was bread. The
fucking Zhangs brought pies and soups.
The Ganjins.
No, they didn't. Oh yeah, the Ganjins. No, they had like they it wasn't just the bread. They had like they were eating out of bowls and shit. I was like, yo, what are y'all doing?
Why'd they have so much?
Y'all had a whole pie. Why? Why? Of all the things you could smuggle, you smuggled the pie. You fucking crazy.
I mean, you might as well if you're smuggling other things.
Oh my god, man, this shit.
No, but so they tell the story. Sokka's eating. He's not even thinking about nothing.
He's literally not listening to the story.
And they're like, you're probably wondering why we snuck the food in, huh? He's like, yeah.
No, not really. Not even at all.
She's like, well, it's because the Ganjin, we know the Ganjin brought food, so we weren't going to not bring food because we knew they were going to bring food.
And he was like, yeah, makes sense. All right, pass the fucking food over.
And she's like, so this is what happened 100 years ago.
Yeah, and both their stories sound bullshit.
Yeah.
Like,
and dumb as hell.
It sounds like the worst version of telephone that you could play because it's like, huh? You guys have two versions of this account. Both of yours are pretty fucking stupid. His is, oh yeah, I just helped this guy, and then I brought him over. I brought the orb back over, and they arrested me and sentenced me to 20 years in jail. Like, yo, bro, what the fuck?
That sounds like somebody leaving out information.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. He was like, no, I can help you. He was like, fuck the help. Get the orb. Like, he was like, no, I don't know. None of this seems important.
Yeah. The orb was just like, they said it like marked tradition.
It's a MacGuffin like a motherfucker, man, because it just doesn't mean anything. Like, we never solved this at all. It doesn't mean anything. We don't learn anything at the end of this. It's just an episode because we needed an episode.
Yeah. They didn't even like mind to make any details to it.
Nope. Nothing sticks here. None of these characters ever come back up, I don't think. Like,
it's pretty lame.
It's fucking lame as shit.
At least Jet comes back up later episode.
Yeah, so then they get to the part where they have to go through the tunnel or whatever, but the earthbending guy's arm's all fucked up, so he can't do it. So now they're all pissed and they're about to fight. They're squabbling it out. He's like, you know what, let's just end this here. And then they're fighting, and then the food comes out, and Aang's like, holy shit, I knew it. All you fuckers brought food.
He was pissed. He's like, you guys are horrible.
Yeah, you motherfuckers.
And then he looked over, started getting those gleaming eyes. He's like, hi.
Right, he was like, oh god, I'm so hungry.
And then
that egg custard in that pie.
Yeah. He gave in real good.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? Fuck all this shit. And then fucking the little buggy monster vulture, they're like vulture bees or some vulture something. They're definitely vultures. Vulture spiders, vultures. I'm gonna stick with vultures. Fuck it.
I don't know.
Whatever. I do like this part because the earthbending guy has me died. Because he was like, they came back for me. They tasted my flesh and they come back for me.
He's freaking out. Wow.
This dude is living in his own world.
I wanted to know more about this guy. Why is he so paranoid?
Also, why is he the only one who does this? I feel like this seems like something you should work with a partner with and all this other stuff. He's some old guy. Like, there's no story here. And that's the part that's killing me.
Why have you been the guide for all these years?
He's talking about the Great Divide. People apparently cross this all the time. Why? How? How did it get started? Exactly. How did it get started?
Why is this the only time you got attacked? Everybody else obeyed your orders until this day?
Probably. Or, I mean, it probably makes more sense that they would get attacked, but it wouldn't be by like the whole horde. You know, it might be by, one is out. You know what I mean?
True.
But if they smell the food, they're gonna be like, oh fuck yeah.
Shit.
Hey everybody, dinner served. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Dang.
one rule. One rule. He was like, oh, you guys can survive one day without food.
They both disobeyed it because they were like, they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, they were like, well, they're going to bring food. I brought food because they brought food. Well, we brought food because you brought food.
That was probably just a scapegoat. They just wanted to bring food.
Oh, fuck fast. Yeah, you know they did.
That would have been me.
Yeah, so then they start fighting and everything. And then in the middle of this attack, Sokka and Katara make up from a fight we forgot about because they literally haven't done anything to be like, hey, yeah, they're also still fighting. They're just like, hey, I don't care about this feud. I just want to get out of this alive. He was like, yeah, I just wanted the food. We're cool. Like, we've always been cool. Like,
well,
like,
they're brother and sister. I mean.
Yeah, but it was like the whole purpose of this was their turmoil mirrored the turmoil between these other two tribes, but it didn't because they weren't even in turmoil.
Nothing the moment in this episode.
Exactly. The moment they met them, they were just like, all right, I guess we're here.
There was no real resolve to anything.
No, they didn't apologize. They were just like, hey, let's not die. He was like, duh. Right, let's go. Let's get out of here.
That's how siblings apologize.
And then
we cool? Okay, we're cool.
I mean, that is honestly a lot of the times. Like, we won't talk for like a week, but then 1 minute we'll be like, hey, you want some of this?
Yeah, it's usually food. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. Y'all making eggs, you want some? And then we're cool again. That's how you do it. That is exactly.
Maybe they just needed to eat. Maybe it took for them.
It's the food, I'm telling you. Our near-death experience, I guess. I don't know.
That too.
So Aang comes up with this plan, which I honestly think wouldn't have worked. Because there's no way they're not all gonna be able to do it the way he did it.
Yeah.
Like, there are gonna be some casualties. Half of these motherfuckers are gonna get eaten. Like, straight up.
I wish there would have been more.
Yeah, they should have been.
Maybe there was some that they just didn't talk about and just left to your imagination. Maybe there was less. Maybe there's a detail we missed. Maybe there was less people in the tribes that got back.
Yeah, but basically, so they get up there, they get through the Great Divide, and then they're about to fight again. And then Aang's like, whoa, wait a minute. I know those guys. He was like, yeah, we all know the story. He's like, no, I'm the Avatar. I was there 100 years ago. And I just want to be like, bullshit.
I know,
he was like, this might not look it, but I'm 112. I was there 100 years ago. I was like, when though? Because you were also frozen in your little Avatar bubble 100 years ago. Like, when? When exactly? How do you even know when it was? It could have been any time. Like, yeah. But he started. He was like, it was a game, and they were 8, and they were twins.
It just kept getting worse. Is that okay?
Yes, it
sounded
did.
Like my joke.
He was like, and then he wasn't in jail for 20 minutes. He stepped out of bounds, so he was in the penalty box for 2 minutes. Yucca.
That sounded like the jokes I used to tell.
He was like, well, what about our redemption orb? Oh yeah, that was the name of the game. It was called Redemption because when you do the thing, you yell Redemption. I was like, yo. What the fuck is happening right now?
That was dumb.
He was like, your sacred orb was just a ball. He was like, a sacred ball? No, just a ball.
It sounded like a kid, man. You know when a kid makes up a story,
and you know it's bullshit.
You're just like, shit. Yeah. But they were both like, oh.
But here's the thing. That's because they're 100 years removed from this story that they don't even care anymore. Their accounts of what really happened don't even matter. The only thing that matters, they're just holding on to a grudge. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to. Hey, just Bloods and Crips shit. You don't know why you're enemies. You have no idea. There's not There's not a single Blood or a single Crip today that understands why they hate the other. They just know they're supposed to. So you keep that shit around. It is what it is.
Don't be stupid, kids.
Don't be stupid, kids. But it's like, it's the same thing, man. And they're like, oh, well, I guess, we can be cool. I guess we're not that much different. Oh.
Were they waiting for somebody to just, like, clear that up?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no middleman anywhere between your tribes.
Some clarity.
There's no historian. There's nothing. You guys have nothing. No.
It's all assumption. Word of mouth.
Ridiculous, man. Oh, this episode sucks.
Hearsay for 100 years, like.
This episode sucks so bad because then it was like, oh yeah. He was like, wow, I didn't know you knew that, Aang. I feel like he was like, you could say I know that.
By the end of the episode,
could say I lied.
By the end of the episode, I felt dumber.
I felt dumber. I felt legitimately dumber. And what's crazy is I remember this episode. I remember that he lies about the story. And when he's like, you could say that I lied. And she's like, oh, you lied. How sneaky. Hee 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 hee. And I was like, end of episode. I was like, that's how we ended this episode. Are you fucking kidding me? It's the worst ending to an episode ever.
Like, why did you do that? It was not funny in any way. Like,
fucking
it
awful.
seemed like it was supposed to be, but they were just like, that's funny enough. That's funny enough.
Funny enough. Like we were supposed to see it and be like, oh my god, I ain't get the lie.
Because some little goofy ass kid is looking at it and cracking.
Oh, he is dying right now. He lied. Oh my god. The kids. The sacred orb.
That'd be my son.
It's just so stupid. Like, everything about this episode is boring. It has no energy. It has no stakes. Like,
I mean, for anybody who's never seen Avatar, I mean, watch the whole thing, but to be honest,
skip this shit.
This one's not necessary at all.
This is one of those episodes where if you skipped it, you literally wouldn't miss a thing. You would lose nothing.
Yeah.
Not a single damn thing. You would just be like,
you'd probably gain.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this episode loses nothing.
It takes away like 24 minutes.
This is one of those things. Like, if this was like a show, like if you were watching it while it was happening and you only caught like let's say like the last 3 episodes, this could easily make you be like, I don't want to watch this shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because you could be like, the water bending scroll is okay. Jet is an okay episode.
Yeah, probably skip this, actually.
This one right here would be like, okay, I've seen 3 episodes and there's nothing to make me be like, I have to keep watching this.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what I said. Jet was the first episode I saw that I remembered, like.
But it was pretty dope. Like,
no, Jet wasn't a bad episode, but because I saw it there, it doesn't tell me what the show is about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. This Jet guy is doing all this stuff.
It doesn't really apply much.
And then this shit, I was like, oh, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah, it didn't get better for a second.
I'd have been like, look.
But definitely.
Second season saves everything.
It does. It gets wild.
Yeah.
Can't wait for Toph to come through.
No, I love Toph.
I think she's one of my favorite characters. No, my favorite character. Right?
Sokka's my favorite.
No, it's gotta be Toph.
Followed by Azula.
Oh, no. Okay. No, okay. I changed mine. Azula.
It goes Sokka, Azula, Iroh, Katara, everyone else.
I like her because she's not really a bluffer.
No, I love her because like later on, especially in like the 3rd season, you realize she's not afraid of shit.
She's not.
But she is afraid of one person.
Her dad.
What? No.
No?
She does. She's not. I've always said this.
Iroh?
No. She's not afraid of Iroh. The one person she's afraid of is Katara. Because she understands that Katara's growth means that she is willing to do things for the people that she cares about. She's not timid anymore. She's not scared anymore. She is going to do anytime they fight, it's more of a bigger deal than when she fights Aang. When she fights Aang, she's smiling, she's having a good time because she knows she can beat Aang.
Yeah.
She could whoop his ass, and she knows that. She knows that she could beat Toph. She knows that she could beat anybody. She cannot.
Like opposite energy.
They are opposite energy forces, and once again, Katara is willing to go that extra mile. When she fights Katara in the 3rd season, when Azula already mops up Zuko, she is like worried, like, oh shit, I could lose. Like, she's already losing her mind. She's going crazy because she's the villain, not Ozai. Yeah. I 100% will always stand by that. Yeah. I feel like even if Aang defeated Ozai earlier, the war would still go on because Azula would take that. You have to defeat Azula. Yeah. Period. Because
Ozai is like final boss.
Yeah. But if Ozai falls and she sits on that throne, it's way worse.
Oh yeah.
She's the villain. She's
evil.
She's pure evil.
Yeah.
Like Ozai, I wouldn't say is evil. He's just bad. Like, he's a dictator. He was like, we're gonna rule because we're the Fire Nation and we do what the fuck we want. She's like, I'm gonna sit on this throne and do what the fuck I want. Yeah. Like that's the difference.
She don't
man.
give no fucks.
I love that about her character.
A lot of the people were afraid of her.
Yeah,
they were like,
and it's crazy too. Like 3rd season is really good because it starts to get more into her. Because even like with her friends like Tylee and May, it's like they may fear her, but she still respects them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't think they know it right away, but she still does. Like, she makes a joke about Ty Lee on that beach episode and laughs and then immediately feels bad about it. Because her face changes. Like, Ty Lee looks at her like, what the fuck? Like, and then she's like, oh shit, my bad. Like, you know what I mean? Because she's like, damn, you know.
They're the only people that stuck around her.
And she's not, she just doesn't have good people skills either.
She does not.
She has the worst people skills. It's amazing how boring this episode was that we had to start talking about other episodes and shit.
I'm sorry that this episode has to be, but
what's the next episode? I know you've been skipping ahead and shit.
No, I know, but I get it so out of order because I be watching like.
I hope it's at least like a decent one.
I think it's one more filler episode.
Oh fuck, man!
I think I don't know. Don't take my word for it, but I think it is, to be honest.
Fair.
It gets real unnecessary during this time in the show.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, because we wait till we get to him getting a firebending teacher. That's a very pivotal point in his story. Or
no, this is. Oh no! This is when they make it to the northern.
No, that's at the end.
Oh,
that's closer to the end of it. Yeah.
Right.
Because he has to meet. He meets the firebender dude first, who tries to teach him firebending. Yeah. He fucks up Katara.
Yeah.
And he vows, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully it is, because then at least we're moving somewhere. Fuck, get back to Zhao again.
It probably is a filler episode, and I just forgot about it because it's so.
Because we still haven't gotten to the Blue Spirit shit yet, which is like, so we've got some good stuff coming.
Yeah,
we got some good stuff coming.
It's gonna take a second. All right.
The Blue Spirit mask from the movie is one of the ugliest things I've ever seen in my life. It's got fucking hair all on it and shit.
Oh yeah,
it's so stupid. That whole scene is so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Nobody firebends in that entire fight scene. It's irritating.
Yeah.
That movie is bad.
We'll get to it.
We will.
We'll tear it apart.
And then the show. Oh my God, I'm not excited for it anymore.
I saw what you posted.
This motherfuckers, man.
Like other people excited. Shows Aang all like excited.
Yeah, because like
other people
my thing is like, okay, I feel like live action adaptations, for better or for worse, have been doing a good job with casting people where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
For the most part, right? I feel like Cowboy Bebop, we have a black guy as Jet. I felt like they could have easily tried
Netflix has done pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. Except for Bleach, they should have. Chad was supposed to be, Mexican, but he was Asian. It's not good, but it's not bad, so it's not that big a deal. But I feel like the thing is, you have to make Katara and Sokka at the bare minimum Native American. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're people of color.
Yeah.
You cannot gloss over that. And that's the same thing they did in the movie where they cast those two dead-eyed white kids.
Yeah.
And now we're just getting it like they're like, oh, well, we're just going to make them Asian. Everyone's going to be Asian.
White people all of a sudden are native to...
That's the thing, man. It's like, here's the thing. Like, even the movie, I thought that the movie was headed in the right path and then completely abandoned the idea.
Yeah.
Right? Because I felt like the Earth Kingdom was clearly like Japanese or, Asian. I don't know which.
Chinese.
Well, I don't know which, but they were Asian, of Asian descent for sure. And then you were like, okay, the entire Fire Nation will be like Indian. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, that's a cool thing. But then we go back to the fucking Earth, the water tribes. I'm like, white again.
Yeah.
No, you have to go all in on this one.
Yeah.
They have to be black. Like,
it doesn't. Well, I think what they wanted to do was make them main characters.
Well, yeah, all main characters in Hollywood. Even fucking Aang was a white kid, and I'm like, well, if you're gonna make one of them white, they both can't be white. Like,
they can't all be white.
If the air nomads are gonna be white, then you have to make the water tribe Inuit. Man, what the?
Yeah, it
was just bad. Like, it's like, go all the way with it. That's why even like I always said with Aquaman, all the Atlanteans should have been Polynesian.
I know,
that
right?
shit would have been dope.
Like, everybody else was white. His mom.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay,
his brother's white. Everybody's white.
I get it. Like, she met this one Polynesian dude, but like, I feel like if you're gonna go, just go all the way. Black Panther, this shit, man. Like,
I know, right?
It would have been super cool for somebody else to have that moment as well. Like, and they just, I think they were scared. I think they were scared that they were gonna get the backlash that people said about Black Panther. It's not even that good a movie. People only went to go see it because black. Like, that shit. But it is what it is.
It was a great movie. I still watch it.
Indubitably it was. Mm-hmm. Great coming of age story.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Chad Bosworth.
Yep. You got anything?
No.
No, me either.
The episode left me empty.
It did. That is sad, sad.
So,
All right, so I don't know. Water Tribe. Yes, sir. Water Tribe all day. Man, why did that sound differently when I remember it? Like I remember him being like Water Tribe, like instead of like whispering it, kind of like
he
it.
did kind of whisper it.
Yeah, I just remembered it differently. I don't know. Maybe it's because we kept saying it differently.
Yeah.
Like we would always be like Water Tribe, motherfucker. Water Tribe. Water Tribe. Water Tribe.
It kind of sounds seductive. What the heck?
Yeah, it's weird.
Water Tribe.
We're out of here. Later, losers.
Bye.